Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants the ideal body, money in the bank, respect in other people's eyes. But very few, almost no one, is willing to love the part no one sees. The boring part, the repetition, the routine, the monotony, because you were sold the idea that success is a place, a final destination where everything finally makes sense. But it's not. Success is the decision to do what needs to be done, even when it feels like it's not making a difference. It's waking up early with no results, training with no motivation, repeating with no applause, and not just doing it, but learning to love it. Because what separates ordinary men from unshakable ones isn't talent, it's obsession with the process. It's the guy who chooses to fall in love with the discomfort, the monotony, the relentless grind. This generation is being destroyed by the obsession with quick results. But the ones who will rise are those who become addicted to the slow build. Because at the end of the day, those who only love the peak never survive the climb. You're doped. Your brain has been trained to seek relief, not effort. You open your phone and within seconds, videos, laughs, dopamine. Everything is easy. Everything is fast. Everything numbs you. But this invisible addiction is killing your ability to hold on to what truly matters. Because when it's time to do something that takes more than 5 minutes of focus, your mind already wants to quit. And it's not because you're weak. It's because you're conditioned to avoid boredom, conditioned to abandon the process. What you call lack of motivation is actually withdrawal. Withdrawal from instant pleasure, and the process, training, studying, building, is the opposite of that. It doesn't give you spikes. It gives you roots. But for that to happen, you need to endure the phase where everything feels slow, dull, repetitive. The boredom of the process is the gateway to a new level of strength, but you'll only cross it if you're willing to suffer for a while until you become addicted to the right kind of pain. Because what's breaking you isn't the weight, it's how spoiled your brain has become to carry it. You want to be respected. You want to be taken seriously. You want people to trust you, but you're still living based on motivation. You only act when you're inspired. You only start when you feel ready. You only stick with things that give quick returns. That's not strength. That's emotional instability. That's amateur behavior. Real respect is born when you become reliable, not just to others, but to yourself. And that doesn't happen through big speeches or grand plans. It happens through quiet repetition, through the consistency no one sees, through the effort with no audience. The trustworthy man isn't the most talented, he's the most predictable, the one who shows up every day, even when he doesn't feel like it. Who does the basics with excellence without needing applause or attention, because he understands that results are a consequence. But identity is built in consistency, and as long as you stay trapped in the obsession with results, you'll keep jumping from one effort to another, always quitting at the most important part, the middle, the part that turns effort into structure, desire into discipline. You want to be respected? Then stop chasing applause and start collecting invisible reps, because that's where the real man is born. You're already addicted. There's no point denying it. Your body is used to chasing instant pleasure, endless scrolling, easy food, digital distractions, constant stimulation. The problem isn't the addiction, it's the target, because the right addiction can build you, but the wrong one tears you apart. You need to start shifting that addiction in the right direction. Replace the urge to escape with a compulsion to face things head on. Create a new kind of dependency, a dependency on growth, on discipline, on productive discomfort. When you wake up and, before seeking any pleasure, you go after a hard task, you're training your brain to love the right kind of pain. When, instead of reaching for your phone, you hit the pavement for a run. When, instead of seeking distraction, you write, study, build. You're flipping the script, reprogramming your system. And if you do this for days, weeks, months, you'll start to see it. What once felt like sacrifice now feels like fuel. What once felt like torture now gives you power. You don't need to destroy your addiction. You need to redirect it, because only the man who becomes addicted to building stops sinking into pleasures that only take and never give back. For years, he jumped from idea to idea, from project to project, always starting with excitement and quitting at the first sign of boredom. He said he was a perfectionist, that he needed to feel passion, but the truth was, he was just fragile, unable to sustain the process. Until one day, tired of feeling empty, he decided to flip the script. Instead of running from effort, he started embracing it. He chose to do the hard things first, started repeating even without wanting to, started showing up even without motivation. And at first, it was unbearable. But over time, something shifted. The exhaustion turned into clarity. The routine became his foundation. And what once felt heavy became a quiet kind of joy. He realized he didn't need to love the process in the beginning. He just needed to respect it enough not to quit. And it was in that unglamorous consistency, without applause, without an audience, without hype that he started to win. No miracle, no magic trick, just doing the thing he used to avoid until what once broke became part of who he was. You want to change your mind? Want to stop sabotaging yourself? Then stop starting your day the wrong way, because it all begins there, in the first 10 minutes, when you choose between rising with presence or seeking comfort before you even begin to live. Train your mind to seek the hard before the easy. Get up and go straight to what challenges you most. Train, read, write, face the discomfort. Do it before you open your phone, before you check messages, before you feed your ego with distractions. This isn't just a habit, it's conditioning. You're teaching your brain to chase what builds before it chases what soothes. And the more you repeat this, the more your system reconfigures itself. It'll hurt at first. It'll feel like punishment, but over time, it becomes addiction. A good addiction, one that turns procrastination into power. That replaces escape with focus. That transforms neediness into presence. This simple mental training, choosing discomfort every day, is the foundation of everything. Because the one who learns to do the hard things first discovers that life itself starts to respect him back.